It's a pleasure to meet you all. She discovered contentment in the silence she had once cherished. An unexpected twist shattered life's uncertain narrative. Their lives became entwined in the bustling atmosphere of a social gathering. The flame of love was lit at the same time, and their passionate romance took off. They soon found themselves discussing their future together and the magic of having a family. Parenthood had never truly interested her until she met her husband, which is unusual. His simple presence in her life, though, had a profound impact on her attitude. A mental image of a large family, with all of the children growing up together, began to emerge. Being over the age of 35, she was aware of the hardships that older mothers may encounter during pregnancy, as well as the health risks that come with it. Her joyful surprise occurred about 6 months into their marriage, when she discovered she was carrying a child. Following the news, they questioned if they were ready to become parents. Their hearts were full with excitement and anticipation, however. As the parents to be prepared to welcome their first child into the world, they altered their routine, emphasizing healthy nutrition and developing new habits to help their growing child. In the middle of their eager expectation of a new life, her husband's support remained unwavering, even going so far as to assist with food preparation on multiple occasions. They discussed their child's future and schooling. During her pregnancy, she became ill more frequently than she expected. She may have been more susceptible to disease due to her advanced age, and her efforts to maintain her health appeared inadequate. Their hearts were full of joy as they welcomed their baby into the world. Her headaches got more severe 3 months after the birth of their child. She was looking after their newborn and had just put him to sleep when she felt the need to sip some water to relieve her thirst. That being said, the room began to spin as soon as she stood up. Her vision blurred as her legs gave way beneath her as she attempted to straighten up straight. My awareness disappeared. Her soul had severed ties with her body, a stunning finding that greeted her upon awakening. As she lay still on the floor, she glanced in fear at her child, who was fast asleep in his crib. Faced with the terrible fact that she was unprepared to leave her child and her life, she was gripped with fear and worry. Her heart's wish was to be present for her child while he navigated the world. In her hour of need, she went to prayer, making an earnest plea to God. "I'm not ready to depart for the life of me." Her plea resounded with the fervor of a mother desperate for her child. Her heartfelt plea prompted an unusual event to occur. An uncanny door materialized in the atmosphere of the room as if it were made of cloud material. She recognized that she needed to overcome her terrible anxiety. As she crossed the threshold, the kingdom she entered was filled with love, vibrant life, and unlimited warmth. The material universe's constraints had no effect on this situation. Magnificent light emerged from this unearthly gap, illuminating everything with its celestial radiance. As she got closer to this sparkling phantasm, she saw it appear before her eyes. This towering figure, cloaked in an immaculate white robe, exuded an obvious sense of grandeur and holiness despite its veiled face. It was God, she thought, because of its celestial appearance. In his presence, she felt insignificant. God's revelation informed her that the light that was calling to her could not be reached since her time had not yet arrived. "Taking care of your children is still crucial," he said. Her reaction was a prayer for more time, in which she expressed her need for divine intervention to help her reconnect with her physical self. Her plea was based on her unwavering love for her child and her desire to remain active in his life. God responded to her request with pity and patience, inviting her to ask him anything. Because she sensed an opportunity, she inquired about why some individuals have near-death experiences and see angels and God while others do not. God's answer was moderate, ensuring that each soul takes its own unique path, some in need of additional illumination and direction, while others have found their way. God went on to say that some people must rediscover their faith and purpose in life after experiencing moments of confusion and loss. When this happens, both angels and God flash a light to guide the lost back home. When those who have already found their religion and purpose in life have a near-death experience, it frequently incorporates other major events rather than encounters with angels or God. As she considered this heavenly guidance, she reflected on the importance of listening to one's intuition and following one's heart as guiding principles in comprehending one's particular life path. Trying to force one's way upon others is foolish and will not assist them in their own journey. In her quest for knowledge, she brought up her abortion, which she had at the age of 25 and which left her feeling guilty. Her question to God focused on the specific negative repercussions of abortion, and God provided a clear answer. He meant to say that abortion is a bad practice because it violates the fundamental right to life. He considers abortion an affront to the fundamental dignity of every human life since it violates the right to be protected from harm. Abortion, God stated, can have long-term emotional and physical implications for women who have it. As an alternative to abortion, he urged people to preserve the sanctity of every human life by assisting those who are pregnant or having difficulties with delivery. A vision appeared before her eyes as a consequence of a celestial revelation. It depicted the spirit of a pregnant woman looking for a safe and nurturing home. None of the families this child encountered on his travels gave him with the necessary safety. After extensive investigation, he discovered a compassionate couple and decided to adopt them as his parents. Unfortunately, the couple's relationship deteriorated 2 months later, and the mother opted to terminate the embryo, ending its existence. God extended his mercy and compassion in response to his deep sorrow. Recognizing that we are all flawed, he highlighted that we can all achieve redemption and peace within ourselves through introspection and reform. Every life is valued and worthy of respect and admiration, as was clearly stated. She desired to go to paradise, so they embarked on an unbelievable journey after gaining God's blessing. They were transported to a fantasy realm filled with beautiful grass, the soothing sounds of a stunning waterfall, and a floating metropolis surrounded by a quiet forest and lake. Village life thrived below, surrounded by cheerful children. The pristine beauty of heaven captured her, and the warmth of God's smile comforted her spirit. When her son cried out, her daydreaming was interrupted, and her maternal instincts kicked in. She returned to her world, her spirit free of her corporeal body. She overcome her physical control issues after a prolonged time of isolation, motivated by a desire to reconnect. Her son's cries stopped, and she returned to reality, cradling him. The memories of this incredible incident, which occurred 10 years ago, are still vivid. She thanked God for restoring her purpose just as she was feeling lost. Her 18-year-old son, who was developing into an independent and responsible young man, thrived today. She believed in a greater powers plan for her life, was grateful for everything she had, and maintained a deep regard for each person and event.